back at Bowlero Christown in Central Phoenix on a Sunday afternoon for the title matches of today's JBT event. Two of them at least. One more to be determined, one already decided. In the handicap division, 7-year-old Harvey Howe, whose feet are on camera. Oh, there's the rest of them. Is taking on Garrett Pleaser. It is a 40-some-odd, let's be a little more specific, 42-pin handicap difference. Garrett has gone spare strike in his first two frames. He'll spare that up in the third to stay clean, while Howe's gone open strike open. To the right, the man, the myth, the Bob Aid legend, Brendan Maversky. Back for the second consecutive day in the title match. He lost yesterday, looking to change that up against tough Gage Baker. He's having himself kind of a breakout season in the scratch division. Gage has strike spare double to open things up. That's his score on the left. While Brendan has him on front three with that open frame. In the fourth puts him behind. You never lose a lot of camera time when Harvey's on. He is up usually before the pin setter's ready, but at that point, that's okay. Back in the old days when we actually had physical videotape, Harvey was my favorite kind of bowler because we'd have a 7-minute match. Even though Harvey's about 2.5 feet tall, he's the one with all the experience here. This is Garrett's first top 4 finish. He's been bowling with us for a little while, so this is a big breakthrough for him, regardless of the result. But he'd love to capture JBT title number 1. Big 4 after that last open for Brendan. No, and gave it a good run, but open in the 4th and 5th gives Baker a giant opportunity to put an early nail in the Maversky coffin. Gage in a fight for the all-conference points lead, travels around a lot. Tom Shannon and, of course, great Mark Baker, his Pop. He didn't put that two together. Nice spare from Garrett. Doesn't throw it like Pop. Knows some of the ball like the vast majority of the kids these days. Oh boy, was that a pretty ball right there for 3 in a row. Really put it all together this year. There's his first strike of the title match. He's kind of grown into his height. He's almost my height. He weighs about 80 pounds, Gage does. So, but his arm swing is sort of caught up with his growth spurt. And really getting to be one of the top stars on tour at still a very young age. Looking for a 4-bagger. Oh, man! Can't throw it any better. Solid 8 will stop the string of 3. He'll walk it off while Garrett will attempt to match Harvey's strike for the 5th frame. Which he does not do. It's that pesky 310. Hey, huge thanks to Addis and the whole team here at Christown. We haven't been here in 8 years, and they were fabulous all weekend long. Lanes ran great. The place looks good. Appreciate all the hospitality all weekend. 48 Lane Center in Central Phoenix. Can't stand that we haven't been here in 8 years. Not to mention it's 12 blocks from where I stay in Phoenix. There's another story altogether. No problem at the 8-pin. Tricky split for a Pleaser to convert here. He was the number 16 seed going into head-to-head match play. 20 bowlers meet the handicap cut today, so some of the first-round bracket matches were 3-way, others were 2-way. Garrett escaped all that. Harvey's had really not much of a problem out of the 6th seed. Got rid of Riley Delberti in one semifinal, while Garrett beat Shaded Raymond, who's having a great March. Won last week in Texas. Top 4's here. No! The 10-pin falls late, out of trouble. There's a good recovery shot from Brendan. Every once in a while we get one of these Harveys on tour, meaning a young kid who absolutely belongs in this type of environment. He'd bowl until his hand fell off, which is an indeterminate number of games, because he bowls, and everywhere he goes, it's sort of our walking advertisement that when we say any age, any average, we mean it. You got a little one at home, you got the right mindset for it, they can come on out and do this too. Already got a title under his belt. Believe it or not, that was 2 years ago. You'd think that was like when he was -3 years old. He wanted a 5-year-old, and that's he climbed the ladder back in California with some awfully high scores and wowed the crowd literally from day one. And still, when people walk into or new to JBT, they say, "Hey, who's that kid down on lane 12 that's like a foot tall that's hitting all these 200 games?" That's hard. I said I got Pop right to my right here. Mom a little further up. Good fundamentals at the spare from Garrett. And That is 1, 2, 3, 4 spares and 6 frames. Check a much more scoreable pattern than yesterday. Yesterday was a brutal pattern as it turned out to be. So today we bowled on Steelsmith, which is a little bit higher ratio on paper. It seemed to match the topography of this place a little bit better. Better in quotes, because whoever won yesterday had no problem with the low scoring base. People like the grind out. Some days you gotta outstrike people. Today one of those kind of in-betweens, and another very nice spare. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 marks and 7 frames for him. Garrett's got some handicap differential to make up. No problem with the 6/10 from Gage. He remains clean with the triple. Brendan still has room for 223, so possibility still in stretch. Tour rolls on to one of our favorites next week, West Seattle Bowl sold out. Can't wait to visit our friends up there. And another one we haven't been to in forever, Pahrump Nugget. I'll have to look up how long that's been. It's a long time is the correct answer. Saw this characteristic yesterday as the oil carries down quite a bit on the surface. Lanes get tighter on the back end. Because the pattern was more wide open, there was a little bit less urethane today, which you kept the fronts in better shape. That's helped the scoring hits. Kids sort of do what they see on TV, and they see an awful lot of urethane on TV, so an awful lot of urethane is down our lanes. That can make the patterns just cool by the end of the day. Look at Army covering boards! Right into the 1-3 pocket. My goodness. The kid's like an embryo, and he walks over here and says, hey, I was playing 25-2, and put a little surfer, put a little 480 on my pitch black. Come on, 7-pin. Real nice shot from Garrett. Not right there. A big shot for Brennan. Now just that spare working. He will take that Brooklyn very happily and keeps himself alive. Still has room for 220. Gage pacing 216, so a vital 9th frame shot coming up here for Bobby. He started this Bowbay business as a class project at GCU. A successful member of the successful Antelope program, and it was the Bowbay itself was such a success that he's turned into a cottage industry. Really has to have it, and it's pretty ball from Bobby. Yesterday was all thumb-in bowlers in the step laddering stretch. That hasn't happened in forever. Today it's the very traditional down and in Bowlerski versus the prototypical modern game engage. Look at that! There's two in a row. Look out! Harvey's getting locked in, America. He may take on Gage after this. Unfortunately, he can't do that because Gage has to take on Nathan Harnett after this. He's been waiting around for the U17 title for a long time. He lost his first round match, so he's been sitting here waiting for Gage to lose, and Gage clearly has no interest in doing so. Girls scratch already over with. Kendall Bowlero won her 10th girls scratch title of the season today to win over Colorado bowler Naomi Kennedy. We have bowlers from Colorado, California, Oregon, Nevada, obviously Arizona, and New Mexico today, coming out to Phoenix. Gage smashed that rack in the 9th. Strike 8 spare will lock it up. Oh, are you kidding me? Oof. And that blistering solid 7 would give Bowlerski a chance to win this tournament. Yikes. Just so much power in the modern bowling balls. The 4 just accelerates over the top of that 7. First things first, get his spare and still forces Brendan to double. Meanwhile, Harvey going for turkey won't have it. But he's getting 43 sticks and he's well ahead in the match scratch. So Harvey looking pretty good for his 2nd career title. I don't have a stat for that. He's not the youngest to ever win. A few are younger than him, but I don't know the youngest to win too. We'll have to look that one up. I don't know how I'm going to look that one up. We'll try. Right around it, right into the left side. No trouble. A couple times around today, I was getting the scorecards. when I got to his pair and I looked around and he wasn't there, then I realized he completely blended into the chairs, and he actually was there the entire time. That red shirt on. No, that's what he should have had the first time there. He does go spare strike, Gage does. Gage, a 5-time champ, and for Brendan to win his second, he's been oh so close to winning more than that. But to win number 2, he must strike twice. Garrett really was a no-lose situation. By far his best career finish. Just be happy about it. Waiting for Bobby to throw, hopefully for his case, 2 of the most important shots of his career. Has to have them both. Dead perfect in that one. Beautiful shot. Nicely done. Finally, only the second strike of the match. His body language tells the story. Where the heck was that, he says. Alright, title matches are different creatures. Take a little getting used to. Brendan has plenty of experience, of course. We talk all the time about how good our U17 kids here, and Brendan is an O17 kid. He wants to get it a couple more wins before he ages out. He's ready to do it here. It's close. It holds it flush. Flow will do it. Boy, that's a heartbreaker for Gage. He just absolutely cured that shot in the 10th. It's the nature of bowling. All you can do is throw it as good as you can. And sometimes the bowling gods want you to have it. And other times the bowling gods are thirsty for some Bobby. Notice I've said Bobby and Bobby because I don't remember how to pronounce it. That's 4, that's 10, that's back 5, that's title number 2. Brendan Bowlero, nicely done. There's a couple antelopes stuck around to cheer him on.